say if you can't beat them, join them. And that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Good morning, I am Sam Quek and this is Early Sports Breakfast. It's November the 11th and it's 5:02. Morning, Nick. Good to be back. Morning. I can't believe it's November so quick. And I'm also freaking out that all the Christmas decorations are popping up or have popped up around London.
It goes fast, doesn't it? And so will this show, right? We're going to start with Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr.'s rematch. The dads are coming into talkSPORT today. We'll go over that in a sec. We'll take a look at whether Rob Edwards has made the right call, leaving Middlesbrough for Wolves. And we'll hear from David Moyes on the Everton Stadium move. As always, get involved on the usual number. Give us a call, 03717 223344, or on the text 81089.
Right, where are we starting, Nick? Ben versus Eubank. The dads are coming in.
Are you old enough to remember the dads fighting in the 90s?
Not quite. Obviously, fully aware of it.
Yeah,
and clips and
because
stuff,
they were
but not actually live.
Epics. I was really tiny, but I remember certainly the second one. So Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank won the first one. Then the second one was a draw, but everyone was kind of felt like Nigel Benn was hard done by. So that's why there's been so much beef this whole time. But they were incredible fights. The dads absolutely tore into each other. And the first one with the sons, a lot of people.
I was going to say that was a lot of people were slagging it off. They're thinking, "Oh, this is just a big payday for them." But it was a brilliant fight.
It was an absolute barn burner over 12 rounds. Eubank Jr. just edging it on a unanimous decision. And then we got the rematch this Saturday. But I'm really keen to try and chat.
It's going to be a draw, isn't it? It's going to be a third fight.
Listen, I think they'll probably want Conor Benn to try and take it so they can have a third. But both
at the Tottenham Stadium as well. Seeing the setup from last time, I just think I've never been to a boxing match in a stadium that big. I remember watching Bellew Hay at the O2.
Yeah.
And just experiencing that live. It was amazing. But I never really understood, unless you're kind of quite close to the action, you can't really see much. So I don't know whether as a spectator you're feeding off the atmosphere, because otherwise you may as well be on your sofa in a nice
warm. Right. I mean, there could be nothing better than being right in the front.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But can you imagine in Tottenham or a football stadium if you're up high? I don't know.
Should be a good atmosphere. Anyway, I'm going to try and I don't know whether
You got tickets?
Chris, no, but I just want to meet the dads.
Yeah.
I'm a huge.
Are they
fan
coming into the studio?
Yeah, they're coming into the studio. Yeah,
I want to be here just for the meet.
That'll be live from 10 a.m. this morning.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Nick. Okay, well, we'll keep with Ben versus Eubank Jr. rematch just now because this week, obviously, it's a massive, massive fight on Saturday. Here's how the first fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn sounded live on talkSPORT.
Eubank Jr. versus Ben on talkSPORT. Chris Eubank Sr. has turned up here.
Listen to the crowd.
Wow!
Now it's fighting for real. Who's going to get the first telling blow in?
Good right hand from Conor Benn as well. Oh, Eubank's gone. Eubank's in trouble there. The leg's done a dance.
What a big uppercut from Eubank. Maybe his best punch of the fight so far.
One thing Conor Benn has, he's got a good chin and he's got heart, and he's proven it here tonight.
Eubank and then good body shots. Right hand, left hand.
Both guys here going for it. So hard.
It's caught and Ben's in trouble. And what a fight we've had there.
Chris Eubank Jr.
I underestimated him. I didn't train for a fight like that.
I was always going to be here for my son. It's a show. Suspense is part of the game.
Yeah, almost 7 months since Eubank Jr. beat Conor Benn on a unanimous decision over 12 rounds. And the Suns are fighting again. Hopefully it will be just as epic as last time. Conor Benn is aiming to avoid a clean sweep for the Eubank family. And Ben was on drive yesterday and was asked if he needs to win one for the Benn family.
Listen, Eubanks is a great fighter. I take my hat off to him. He has my respect. He had more courage, heart, desire and will to win than I thought he'd have. I thought it was curtains after the third round when I hit him with a left hook. And I genuinely thought it was going to be an early night. But he had a lot more heart than I thought. But do I chase this as redemption? Of course I do. Do I want revenge? Yes, of course I do. But ultimately, this is a fantasy fight for the British public that I'm glad I could deliver to everybody. And that was me jumping up 2 weight divisions to give everybody this fight. This wasn't on my radar. This wasn't a fight that was supposed to happen. We made it happen. And it's turned out to be one hell of a fight. But as I said, I'm excited to drop back down to 147.
Connor's absolutely right. I think we're all looking forward to this fight after an epic last time. They'll both face off once again at Eubank's natural weight for a middleweight at £160. And if you remember as well, the £10 rehydration clause will also limit the fighters to weighing £170 on the morning of the fight. So don't miss it. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, the rematch. It'll be live here on talkSPORT this Saturday night. Now, football, and Wolves were expecting Rob Edwards to be unveiled as Wolves manager later on today. We understand Middlesbrough will be getting around £3 million in compensation from Wolves. And Simon Jordan has, in true Simon Jordan style, has gone in two-footed on Edwards and the move.
If Middlesbrough fired him, they have to pay him. If they fired him, they gave him a 3-year contract. Now, that would have been caveated slightly, so they didn't have to pay the full 3 years if he was a roaring failure. But they would have had to pay him something. In this instance, they brought him in, they gave him a job on the back of the fact that, I remember watching him, with due respect to him, I think he did remarkably well to get Luton promoted. I watched a documentary that he was part of, and I came away with a completely different impression of him than I had originally. I thought he was a bit of a flake. And of course, last year, Luton's team dropped into the relegation zone and got relegated. So he's lucky to get a great job like Middlesbrough, working for a great chairman like Steve Gibson, who's been unequivocal in his support of Middlesbrough for 30 years. And now he's going to go to a club that I think is a crap job, quite frankly. I think they're in freefall. I think they don't have a squad of players that's going to keep them in the Premier League. I don't think they have a culture motivated to be able to give managers the kind of support that they need on the field, because all their best players are being sold left, right and centre because they've got to fulfil different outcomes than perhaps the original motivation of Fosun and their ownership model.
Also good as well to remember as well, Wolves are still winless this season and rock bottom in the Premier League with just 2 points. A lot of people probably questioning, okay, why has he made this decision when he's at that point with Middlesbrough? And former Wolves winger Matt Jarvis has told us Edwards must have had conversations with Wolves about the prospect of relegation.
I would definitely think that's been made, the conversation has been had, yeah, for sure. All eyes will be on making sure that he can keep the club up, but if you're going into the job, you've got to have all your eyes. You've got to have your eyes open to the fact that it's a terrible position to be in. 2 points, really difficult situation to get yourself out of. So you are potentially looking at next season as well. So that conversation has had to have happened.
We'll be keeping our ears to the ground for that announcement, hopefully later on today. And still dominating the headlines, Liverpool's complaint to PGMO. That's right. They've complained to the refereeing body about Virgil van Dijk's disallowed goal against Man City on Sunday. Former Premier League ref Dermot Gallagher told talkSPORT Bar the decision is a tricky one for officials.
I think this is, I was saying this morning, Jamie, this is such a grey area, this about impacting on a goalkeeper because so close to him. I just wonder if, to tighten it up, they somehow come out with something. So we've got definite parameters rather than this subjective decision where it's left to the referee on the day. Maybe even if you say, if somebody's standing between the goalposts in the 6-yard area in front of the goalkeeper and he's in offside position, you'd give that. I'm just throwing it out there because at the moment, it is such a grey area. It's so subjective to somebody watching it.
Yeah, grey area indeed. In my opinion, it's kind of just be consistent. It's a grey area, but just be consistent in the decision. I think earlier on as well, we've seen Man City gain from that decision. I think it was Silva, wasn't it? Got the decision. It was the same referee. So I think that's where a lot of frustration comes from. But I don't think I've met anyone yet that I've spoken to who actually thinks it should have been a disallowed goal. But yeah, something needs to be done so we can stop this error going forward. Meanwhile, Martin Keown stuck the boot into Arne Slot on White and Jordan yesterday after Liverpool's 5th defeat in 6 Premier League games. Keown suggested Slot might not have the players totally on side anymore.
I don't know whether or not the manager's lost them a little bit. He's very pragmatic afterwards. This is a bit of a crisis for him now.
Yep.
There's 7 defeats this season. Performances have fallen well short of where they were last season. It was quite magnificent last season. He's got to get that back, but it doesn't look as if he's got the players completely on board. They were better in the second half, but the game was won by then.
I just think everyone needs to calm down. It's a bit dramatic, isn't it? He's lost the dressing room. Listen, I think as a Liverpool fan, you're frustrated. That is the headline out there because you can see what Liverpool can do. It was better against Villa the previous week. Real Madrid looked like a completely different team when they came up against them in the Champions League. Also, you have to remember, Liverpool still created chances at Manchester City. Obviously, the disallowed goal, yeah, it's easy to say it could have been a different result, but you've got to react to those decisions and crack on. Remember, Gakpo missed a huge opportunity in the second half on the back post. Same as Salah with a little chip over the goalkeeper. But the frustration and disappointment comes in the intent, the application, and these are buzzwords. But when we talk about intent, you're talking about if you're going to make a pass. Make it with confidence. Application, it doesn't matter how bad you're playing, you can always run hard. And again, you saw Liverpool do that against Real Madrid, and it's a knock-on effect to your teammates when it comes to confidence. I think as a fan, you can question that. It doesn't matter how bad you're playing, you can always run hard. But I think it comes with confidence with the team, and then I guess that's when you do look at Arne Slot. What is he doing to make the team gel better in that department? And again, yeah, I'm not questioning him as a manager, but you know what I think? I've been parts of elite teams sometimes when you just get, everything just seems to be going against you. Doesn't matter what you do. I just think they need a big night out, right? There's nothing better than a good night out, everyone on the lash, just relax, forget about everything, come back. The next day, there's no better social bonding for me. So, in my opinion, I think Liverpool need a big, massive night out. I don't know when they're going to fit it into the calendar with all the international breaks and whatnot. But I'm not panicking as a Liverpool fan. I'm frustrated, yes. Okay, sticking with football as well. And I love this story because I don't know if you've heard, but Sunday League, everyone loves a bit of Sunday League. And I don't even know if you've been walking a dog and you've seen Sunday League. You can't beat it, can you? You can't beat the chat. It's a little bit entertaining. And then you see some random person come out with some worldy pass or goal. And this leads me to our next story about Wythenshawe Vets and Papa Cisse Sunday League goal-scoring exploits. So, we are asking which player would you like to see in a Sunday League side, or your own, for that matter of fact, because we've seen previous Premier League players go and play for Wythenshawe Vets along with Stephen Ireland, and I think we've seen a lot of them come out scoring hatties and beating teams 10-0. So we want to know, if you could have any former Premier League player rock up and play for your Sunday League team, who would it be? Call us 03717 223344 or text us on 81089. This is Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with me, Sam Quek. Up next, we'll go over the best of the back pages and hear from Thomas Tuchel ahead of England's last competitive game before the World Cup. Good morning, I'm Sam Quek and this is Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Today we've been talking about many things and we're building up to breakfast with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoyce. Some of the headlines that you're waking up to this Tuesday morning: we understand Columbus Crew boss Wilfred Nancy has emerged as a leading contender to become Celtic's new manager, and Celtic are also considering Bodo Glimt's Kjetil Knutsen, but the Frenchman Nancy is seen as more attainable at this stage. Martin Peterson hailed Notts County's first half performance as one of their best displays so far this season, after they earned a 2-1 League 2 win at Cheltenham to move up to third. And lock Ollie Chesham and winger Tommy Freeman are both doubts for England's showpiece test against the All Blacks on Twickenham on Saturday. They picked up injuries in England's win over Fiji at the weekend. Also, prop Ellis Genge insists England are ready to take on the challenge of facing the All Blacks.
We're obviously over the moon to have won 9 in a row, but it obviously gets very tough next week against New Zealand, who are one of the best sides in the world. Obviously, it'll be a battle of attrition. As years have gone by, they've been known for chucking the ball about, but they've got some big physical lumps in there now as well. So, yeah, we'll relish that.
For all the latest on those stories, go to talksport.com. And a reminder as well that talkSPORT is now on your smart TV. Just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV. We're even on Prime Video. talkSPORT live on your screen as well as your speakers. Now it's the international break, and that's come round quick, hasn't it? And England have already qualified for the World Cup. But is it Bellingham and Foden's time to shine?
Kane's got it this time and fires it in.
When we play a France, a Spain or an Argentina at that back end of the tournament, we're going to have to play a pragmatic style of football, and I think Thomas Tuchel's brilliant at that.
Dust off your passports, pack your suitcases, England are on their way.
You look at Tuchel now and he is so in control.
But it comes to Phil Foden, who plants it into the bottom corner.
He competes maybe then with Harry in this camp as a different profile number 9.
You could feel the excitement of the manager that he's dying to work with him.
And towards Bellingham!
Jude Bellingham is England's best player.
Should be favourites to win the World Cup because they've got so many good players.
When we arrive in the US, we want to stay all the way. Can only make it happen if we arrive with a strong team.
Really looking forward to that World Cup, especially in the US, and the England team as well. It just seems to be stacked full of talent. And of course, everyone's interested to see how Tuchel uses Foden and Bellingham this week. But he insists there's still plenty of time for other players to force their way into the World Cup squad. Also good to know Ollie Watkins, Miles Lewis Skelly, Morgan Gibbs-White and Danny Welbeck are among those not to make his latest camp for qualifiers against Serbia and Albania. But Tuchel says it would be stupid to rule anyone out at this point.
We have to stay open-minded because there can always be surprises. Young players can come through. Players who are now maybe struggling for minutes can suddenly play an important role in their clubs. And I want to make sure that the door is always open and everyone is on their toes.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to have a healthy competition in a squad. And like I said, the talent stacked in this England team. It's really exciting to see the potential that, or what they could do going into this summer. England versus Serbia is live on talkSPORT this Thursday night. Okay, Nick, welcome back. Time to get into the back pages this morning. What's dominating?
Do you want to start serious or silly?
You choose. Let's go silly.
Okay, silly first. So this Wythenshawe Vets team is being picked up by a lot of the papers. It's a team involving something like over 1,000 Premier League appearances. The Times' Gregor Robertson has done an interview with them. We've seen lots of videos of Papis Cisse sort of missing a penalty at the weekend, but also scoring a couple as well.
Didn't Julian Lescott get a hat-trick as well in one of the matches?
Julian Lescott's there.
Best time ever in his career, surely. Hat-trick for him being a defensive player.
Do you know what? I'm not sure about that. Maybe you wouldn't have thought you'd have that many, right? Usually you find, though, with these players that they're like, even if they're a defender, they were, playing forward or midfielder when they were kids, right? George Boyd's playing as well. Maynor Figueroa, Stephen Ireland, Danny Drinkwater, all in this team photo. And Wythenshawe Vets at the moment are top of their league, just above South Liverpool in second. But after 4 games, Wythenshawe have won all 4 with a goal difference of plus 32.
What's the goal difference the next one down?
-7. I think they're putting quite a few goals past everyone these
Yeah, but imagine rocking up and being like, who are we playing today? And then just seeing the calibre of team. of Wythenshawe vets.
So we've spoken to some of the people involved in the league, and I think, obviously it's quite a competitive league still, and I think some of the other teams, although it might be not fun to get hiding, it's probably a great experience to play with some of these guys, right? If you could have anyone from footballing history in your Sunday League team, who would you go for?
You want a player, don't you, who's going to be putting in big tackles.
Yeah.
Because when you play at that level, I can imagine there's always probably someone who just wants to get one over on you and just say, I'll put a big tackle on X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking someone like a Roy Keane, a Steven Gerrard, Patrick Vieira.
They just boss the game in the middle as well.
Yeah.
You want someone to
dominate,
hold the ball, right?
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I mean, if you're thinking tactically, you just go for a ball-playing midfielder, wouldn't you, just to kind of control the game? But if I could play with anyone, it'd be Batistuta. Was kind of a childhood hero of mine.
Yeah.
I just love the aggressive way.
Solid, shaved head.
In the goals. Okay, let's do the serious one.
Okay.
Olympics are planning a ban for transgender women in the female category. This has come from the new IOC president, Kirsty Coventry. They've announced that the female category, those athletes that were born male and now identify as female, will be banned from all Olympic sports at that category. That follows a science-based review. Committee Medical and Scientific Director Dr. Jane Thornton presented this review to IOC members at a meeting in Switzerland, and they're arguing that if you're born male, that comes with inherent advantages in terms of bone structure, weight, and everything else. It's understood the IOC is likely to announce a new policy early in the new year, possibly around that Winter Olympics in Milan in February. I don't know if you've got any views on this.
Yeah, I've got some strong views on this. I think ban for me is such a heavy word. Exactly. And I think everyone, doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, what you identify as, should be entitled to compete at an Olympics and to compete at the highest level. But I think this is the right decision. And I think if you're going to be inclusive, you need to just have a separate category, because you can't ban people from competing and doing what they love and what they're good at. I think from my experience growing up, I've got a twin brother, I've got an older brother. I've played sport from the age of football, first of all, from the age of 2, 3, 4, played in a boys team and then had to go to a girls team. And then I played hockey against men's teams. I played in a boys team at sixth form. And you can see the difference between girls and boys. And this is a classic example. I was playing for GB seniors at the time at the age of 17 and 18, so I was in sixth form.
Right.
And I remember saying to the coach, listen, I've got a camp this weekend. Is there any chance I can do a running session on the Wednesday afternoon when we had a training session with the lads? So you're talking about boys who were 15, 16, 17 I was playing with, and I was 17, 18 as a girl, as a woman. At my peak in an international team. And I remember we did to the 25-yard and back to the halfway and back. And it was something like, 7 reps, 3 sets. And I remember going off and they absolutely battered me. And I was like, by the end of the 3rd or 4th rep, they'd already finished and I was only at the halfway line. Right. And that is the difference, just naturally, because, they have bigger lung capacities, a bigger heart, stronger, they're faster. But I also benefited from it because I had to also change my game as a player. I had to be faster thinking, get the ball away. I couldn't go for one-on-ones when it came to running with the ball. So I think, to round up, this is the right decision, but I think everybody should have the opportunity to play in Olympics, and the only way to combat that is to have a separate category. Yeah, but this is huge news, I think, going forward, because I think also, it's important that women do also have equal rights.
Of course, and I think you're right to talk about the semantics, because we all, you call it a ban because it's a big headline, but what Kirsty Coventry says she's trying to do is protect the female category. Moving on, Julian Nagelsmann's been sounding off about
yes.
Florian Wirtz.
Sounding off.
He's blaming Liverpool's useless strikers for all the abuse that Wirtz is getting for not adapting to the Premier League. I mean, we've seen Mo Salah fluff a couple of chances that Wirtz put on a plate for him. Not got too many. I think has he still got 1 assist only?
I think
Pretty
so.
low,
Yeah. This is the thing, though. I think when you come to a club like Liverpool, Premier League reigning champions, with that price tag, and he was playing incredible football before he moved to Liverpool, you're going to be under the microscope, and people have massive expectations. But I think at this moment, people want someone to blame, don't they? And I think obviously he's hitting the headlines. His national coach looking to stick up for him because the grief that he's probably getting over here in England. But I think it's just a matter of time. You can see what he's trying to do when you watch him as a bit of a player, Cam. His head is constantly on a swivel.
Wirtz,
yeah.
He's got incredible awareness.
He's just class, yeah.
Incredible
And
player,
there's clips as well I've seen where Liverpool players could have passed to him.
Yeah.
And it would have been an open goal. So, yeah, there's frustration there. But are we worried? Nah.
Nagelsmann saying he does create chances. It's just they somehow don't like to shoot the ball in. That's also part of the truth. So Liverpool can't stick the ball away. And that is why Wirtz is getting pelters.
Yeah, he's taken it this week. Who was it last week? Virgil van Dijk?
Someone's got to take it, haven't they?
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think it's right for people to be pointing the finger at him?
No, look, he's a 22-year-old guy. We know he's class. I mean, the Liverpool's problems is really how they fit it all into the system because, apparently Wirtz was promised that he could play in the number 10 role and that's why he chose Liverpool over Man City. But the problem is to do that, then you've got to ruin that three-man midfield with Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister. That's sort of that energetic midfield that Liverpool need. If you're going to put Wirtz in the 10 in the middle of the park, you're going to have to upset that 3. So that what they've done in the last couple of games is stuck him out on the left, which he's good there, but it's a question of slot, rearranging all those pieces. And
they tried moving everyone around, didn't they, and putting Szoboszlai at right back, and where'd you put him in when he's playing well?
Maybe the answer is you don't have to play Mo Salah every game.
It's true.
He doesn't do any defending. And I know that's part of the deal with Mo Salah as well.
Yeah. You need to play your best players at the moment. Yeah. And that's a
Slot's got a very difficult few months ahead.
Definitely. Well, hopefully the international break will do them well and reset, and they can go out on that big lash that I recommend them to do.
A lash and a couple of training sessions.
A big lash, yeah. Thanks very much, Nick. That was a look at the back pages. I'm Sam Quek, and this is Early Sports Breakfast. Up next, we'll have some fun with the front pages, and we'll hear from David Moyes about life at the Hill Dickinson.
let's be honest. We've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. This feel familiar?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top of football refereeing? Every referee starts with their county FA. It's a simple training course and you can take it as soon as you hit your 14th birthday. Once you've done that, you have to go through at least 11 hours of face-to-face training. You'll then graduate as a Level 7 official, which means you can take charge of county-level games. But hold your horses, there's still a long way to go to get to the Premier League. Your next step is to spend a year each at Levels 6, 5 and 4. This covers the top of the amateur game. Only at Level 3 do you start doing Northern Counties or Isthmian League level games, for example. If you've done this all quickly, you can reach Level 2 and ref your first National League match after, I don't know, 6 years? After getting enough experience at that level, you can apply to be a referee in the EFL. There's an interview, people watching you do games, and then, if the EFL are happy, you'll be granted a Level 1 licence to ref in games in League 2 and above. Now, they don't just say on you go to the Premier League, you have to work your way up through the divisions. Only after years of hard work and refereeing on cold Tuesday nights in Stoke can you be considered to do matches in some of Europe's very best stadiums. Now, who was the youngest to reach the very top? It was actually Michael Oliver. He reffed his first Premier League match in 2010 at the tender age of just 25. So if you want to follow in his footsteps, crack on. It'll only take you roughly a decade, thousands of hours of work and an incredibly thick skin. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough for the top flight. That means there's not even a 1 in 1,000 chance you'll even make it in. Obviously, referees can make mistakes, but when you think about it, having a go at them is kind of like slating a brain surgeon.
I'm Sam Quek and you're listening to talkSPORT Early Breakfast. Earlier on, we've been asking you which pro you choose to have in your Sunday League team because Papa Cisse is banging them in for Wythenshawe Vets. Give us a call 03717 223344 or text 81089. We're building up to breakfast this morning from 6 a.m. with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist and some of the headlines that you're waking up to this Tuesday morning. 10 parties are now understood to have provided proof of funds ahead of a potential takeover of Sheffield Wednesday. The Championship's bottom club went into administration on the 24th of October, incurring an automatic 12-point deduction from the EFL. Chelsea travelled to St Polton this evening, hoping to maintain their unbeaten start in the Women's Champions League. Sonia Bompasta's side followed up their opening round draw with Twente by thrashing Paris FC 4-0 last time round. And Jack Catterall is targeting a stylish win over Nottingham's Esko Usman in their welterweight clash this weekend, as they're on the undercard of Eubank Jr and Ben. And Catterall's told us for him, the performance is almost as important as a win in this one.
Any fight will say the most important thing is getting the W, but I've made a lot of sacrifice this camp. I've took myself out of my comfort zone. I've changed training teams, and I'm looking for a good performance Saturday. I know what threats Echo poses. I give him his credit. I think he's a great fighter, and I think more than anything, the styles are going to gel. I think the stuff I've been working on, the small improvements and adjustments I've been making, and the fact that Echo will come on the front foot, he's going to keep working for the 12 rounds. I think it's going to be a good fight, and one I anticipate to win inside the distance.
Catterall versus Usman is on the undercard of Eubank Jr versus Ben, and it's all live on talkSPORT this Saturday night. For more of these stories and more, visit talksport.com. Okay, lots of you getting in touch with which former pro you would have in your Sunday League team. Adam in Wells said Craig Bellamy, quality and the right amount of housery to thrive. It's a very good point. He was a good player, wasn't he? Gatesy says, I've had Stuart... I'd have Stuart Psycho Pearce or Vinnie Jones grabbing balls everywhere. Gav says, not the same level, but I have 3 ex-pros in my Vets team, including Mark Albrighton. Oh, I bet that's boss, Gav. I'd love to have like that insight. Darren S says, I won't watch the Eubank Jr versus Ben fight because of the weight difference. It's all about money. Thank you very much, Darren. No mention of who you wanted in your Sunday League team. If you wanted to, that would have been great as well. But yeah, just dropping that text in there. Thank you very much. Okay, talkSPORT Breakfast caught up with David Moyes yesterday. We're going to move on to him and also Everton's stadium move. He spoke about how his players are getting on and their struggles in front of goal. Everton got their 2-0 win over Fulham this weekend to give them a bit of breathing space from the bottom 3. And Moyes told us he's pleased overall with the start of life at the Hill Dickinson.
We've been pretty pleased with the start we've made. You know, we started, especially the opening sort of 6 games, we're in a sort of a more loftier league position than we are just now. But you know, since that, we're away games. We've had quite tough away games. When you think that, you know, we've been to Sunderland, we've been to Man City, we've been to Anfield already. So some of those games have been difficult, with an opening night at Leeds United in the which, as you can know, when teams come up, it's never good to get them in the first game if you can help it. So we're away games at the moment have been pretty tough, and I'm pleased with our home form. In the main, it's gone very well, as you rightly say. Quite often going to a new stadium can be difficult, and it still could be. You know, it sometimes takes you time to settle into a sort of new home, and we've settled in quite well, quite quickly.
Tieno Barry had a better game on Saturday, but he and Beto have only managed 1 goal between them this season. Moyes spoke about it to us, about whether Everton will be in the market for a number 9 in January.
I've been listening to you a bit this morning, and I think you've been talking about nearly all clubs talking about needing strikers, you know, and let's be fair, it's not, even at West Ham, I used to keep getting said, you know, where, you know, you need to buy a new striker, and I thought, yeah, you're probably right, but we couldn't find one, so we had to try and get Marko Arnautovic became a centre forward, Mickey Antonio became a centre forward. So sometimes you have to find it within if you can't find it. And look, it's something which is becoming, it's always been important. It's not as if it's just important now. It's always been important in football, but it's just felt probably a bit more difficult, definitely, to get people who can get those goals, which everybody needs.
You can watch David Moyes' full interview with Breakfast. Just head to the talkSPORT YouTube page. Right, Nick, it is 5:42. What have you got for us then in the front pages? Because it's time for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front pages first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
Do you remember your first mobile phone?
Yes.
What was it, and how old were you?
I want to say I was in like year 8, and I don't even know what it was. Maybe like a Seiko.
Year 8,
like little...
like 13 years old.
Yeah, 12, 13. Yeah. Or like, you know, the big massive Motorola. Was it Motorola
I don't know.
Big block?
Other phones are available, but yeah, that is one of them. No, that's right. You're right.
And then I upgraded to a Nokia.
Because
why?
Well, Prince William has described some tense standoff he's having with George, who's 12 years old, about getting his own smartphone. 12 years old.
He's not got one.
No, you thought he would have, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The 12-year-old wants a mobile to get online and chat with pals, says Wills, and it's causing an issue. William said our children don't have phones. When George moves on to secondary school, he might have a phone that has no internet access. So Will talking about getting his 12-year-old son, one of those old brick phones, maybe with Snake on it.
You know what? I sit here and wish we could just have brick phones now, because the amount of possibilities people can get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Text, WhatsApp, mail, social media platforms, numerous ones. I mean, I would quite like that now, but
you can't just
as a young kid, you must be missing out on like the chat and the banter. He's done well to keep one away from him for this long.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not like they can afford to have a nice phone, but like it is that question of, you're right, is like what are the kids doing in their rooms when you're not watching them? They got access to all that kind of rubbish on the internet. It's probably not a good thing for them. There are lots of movements with parents around the country to actually ban young people from having smartphones until they're 16 and not having social media until they're 16, which is definitely something I support, I think.
Yeah, I'm the same. My kids are 3 and 4 now, and I will definitely be trying to hold off phones for as long as possible.
Are they on the YouTubes?
We've just started. They're not. No, they're not.
Right.
They're not even on iPads. Even we actually had the conversation, my husband and I, whether we need to start introducing iPads because it's just the way of life now. Like
Yeah.
in school, of just teaching them how to navigate.
I bet they already know. When you see little kids, they're just like,
Yeah, they're like
know
whizzes,
exactly
aren't
what
they?
they're doing.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, exactly. Do you watch Traitors?
I do.
Well, Traitors apparently has boosted the Scottish economy by 22 million quid.
That's a lot.
It's filmed at Ardross Castle in the Scottish Highlands near Inverness. It's already expanded into a US spin-off, the UK Celebrity Edition, which Alan Carr's just won. Joe Marler doing pretty well there. talkSPORT's Joe Marler. A report found the franchise is generating an estimated £21.8 million to boost the Scottish economy. Do you think you'd be a good traitor?
I'm terrible at lying. I just laugh. I'm so easy to read. I mean, I'd love to do it. I'd be a faithful. I could be a traitor. If you told me to be a traitor, get your game face on and do it, Sam. I would.
You could do it.
Yeah. I mean, we did traitors last year at Christmas.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe that's because that was my close friends and family that they can just read me like a book. But going back to that, yeah, there's spin-offs, New Zealand, American, all sorts. Big fan of it.
And what about I'm a Celeb?
I've done I'm a Celeb. 2016, straight after the Olympics.
Is that right?
Sam Quek, Little Quiet Mouse, like so baffled by TV.
How did you get on?
I came fourth. I got to the Saturday night.
And who was
Finals on the Sunday.
nicest person in your...
Oh, Carol Vorders.
Oh, really?
Still mates with her now. Morning, Carol, if you're listening.
We should get her on the show.
You'd love it. It was great. It was a really good experience, but it is legitimate. No foods. They don't even let you know what time it is. And you're asleep and you've got to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning because you go live 2 hours after and you've got to be ready. But you just get like a random guy come and wake you up in the middle of the night and change your battery pack while you're asleep. Weirdest thing.
Wow.
They don't speak to you. They're just like completely covered up. You just see these eyes in the dark coming over to change your battery pack.
But good experience.
Great experience. I'd love to do it again.
All right. Before I go, very quickly, more than 9 in 10 of us drink at least 1 cup of tea a day. Researchers found. Do you drink tea?
I mean, is that even like headline news? I mean, we're British. Come on.
On front pages.
Front page news, everyone. Drinks a cup of tea.
You know we drink more coffee than tea now.
Stop.
Yeah.
I think that must be a fashion thing, though. Like 15 years ago, let's go back to our youth. As a 15-year-old, would you be like, oh, let's go to Costa?
No.
No, but
it's completely new. But 15 years ago, you couldn't find a decent cup of coffee in this country. Now, everywhere.
Everywhere.
And you've got so much choice.
I know. All the loyalty points as well.
I like both.
Oh, yeah. I drink coffee purely for the caffeine. Although my cup of tea... How do you take your cup of tea?
I mean, hot and strong, no sugar, a little bit of milk.
Yeah, I don't have milk anymore because we don't really have milk in the house. And that started from when I was a student. We never had milk in. So I was like, I'll just have a black one.
I'll drink a pint of milk on its own.
I'm not a milk drinker.
Yeah, I know. That divides people. Anyway.
Yeah. Let's leave the my bowel movements chat for another time.
You brought it out.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Early Sports Breakfast with me, Sam Quek. Up next, we'll look ahead to Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn as they come into talkSPORT Towers here ahead of their Suns rematch this weekend.
Get in the ring to win on talkSPORT.
Good morning, I'm Sam Quek and this is Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT as we build up to breakfast at 6 a.m. with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist. Right, it's competition time. Right, thanks to talkSPORT, your plans for this coming weekend could be sorted. We're giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to the massive rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn live at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this Saturday, the 15th of November. You'll get a chance to stay in a 5-star hotel in London plus £5,000 spending money to make it an unforgettable weekend. Get your mate ready. Here's how to enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word BOX to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 13th of November at 1 p.m. and you need to answer our call to win. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Good luck to you if you're entering that. Great prize. And to warm you up ahead of the fight on Saturday, we're going to continue the build-up because this morning on talkSPORT, Ben and Eubank, both Ben and Eubank, the seniors, the dads, are here in the studio. Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn will join White and Jordan from 10 a.m. Chris Eubank Sr. wasn't happy about the catch weight rules last time round with his son not quite making the weight. That meant Conor Benn got a £375,000 top-up of Eubank's prize money. Conor told Andy Goldstein on Drive what he did with the money.
Firstly, how is the Rolls Royce?
I did, yeah, full spec.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Man.
Is there a similar clause?
No, I'm not even joking.
Is there?
There is, of course.
There is a similar clause. What will you do with the next 500 grand?
If he misses weight again, I'll go and buy a Ferrari. In fact, I've already got my eye on one. Already, it's on hold.
Conor, I saw when you did the gloves off, you mentioned this about every time you get into your car, you think of him. I know he was smiling, but I just get the impression deep down that did annoy him ever so slightly, the fact that you're driving about in a brand new roller and it's because he didn't make the weight.
Do you know what? I jump in it, yeah, and I didn't even have to pay for it. That's the thing, is it was literally... And do you know what? He tried so hard to make the weight. Do you know what? It just makes me laugh. Even now, to this day, it's so glorious. But the fact he was like 0.01 over, it's like I've never even heard of that before. So the fact that I've got paid 500 grand for him just being 0.01 over, It is magical. It is so special. That's never happened before.
As you do. You know, tough decision, isn't it, whether to buy a Rollsy or a Ferrari? But it's going to be a great fight, that's for sure. You can listen to it live on talkSPORT this Saturday night. Right, earlier on this morning, we were asking which ex-pro would you have on your Sunday league team, as we heard that Wythenshawe vets have been scoring goals left, right and centre. A.R. Gill has said, "Hi, Sam and Nick. I play for Harold Wood's Super Vets, and we have ex-pros already in our team. Ex-West Ham Lee Hodges, ex-Swansea player Mark Gower, and ex-Colchester Joe Heath, and Jeff Brazier also plays for us as well. He's all right as well, Jeff, isn't he? Decent team then. Good. If you're around there, I bet that'll be great if you're rocking up and walking your dog on a Sunday to check out those. Anonymous has texted in saying, I have Chris Waddle, Giggs and Stuart Pearce. Yeah, great choice there. Okay, that's it from us on Early Breakfast. talkSPORT Breakfast is ready and with you next. Join Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist. They'll be going over lots of different things this morning, such as Nick Schofield, the trainer of a racehorse called Alan Brazil, is on the show to talk about Brazil finishing third at the 1:30 at Kempton yesterday. I tell you what, if you had an each way bet on that, decent, 100-1 it was. Former Wolves player Dave Edwards will also be discussing Rob Edwards' move to Molineux, and former British champion Darren Barker will look ahead to Eubank Jr. versus Ben this weekend. That's it from me. I'm Sam Quek and I'm back tomorrow. Oh no, I'm not actually. I can't. That's an error. This is breaking news. I can't tomorrow. But Jeff and Ali will be on the way.